Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about 3 topics. One of the topics is Hogwarts Legacy Snubbed by the Game Awards 2023. That article comes from GameRant. We're going to talk about Sony patent would be a game changer for PlayStation 5 story games. And we're going to talk about Cities Skylines 2 dev delays, mod support, slowdowns, patch release, and updates console release date. These are the 3 topics we're talking about. If you like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, you become a member as little as $5. What's going on, chat? What's going on, Stealth, Eclipse, Travis, Paul, Rose? Good morning, good morning. Stealth says, I think Hogwarts should have replaced Alan Wake, in my opinion. I don't think Hogwarts, I'm not mad about Hogwarts not making Game of the Year. I'm not mad about that at all. I'm mad that they didn't get one nomination for art direction, sound design, soundtrack, you know, one of those games or one of those categories. Eclipse says Alan Wake 2 deserves to be on there. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't believe Resident Evil needs to be on there, but that's just me. Paul says if a remake is good enough, it should be it should have a chance. Remake. It was listed before without its meltdown. Not by me. By me, I hate remakes as any kind of contender in any category. If you wanna have remakes and remasters, you make a separate category for best remake, best remastered. Okay. There's no way you'll never change my mind that a remake or a remaster goes up and takes a spot away from a brand new IP/game that comes out the first time this year. No way. What's going on, Z? What's going on, Silent Warrior? What's going on, Chief? Dolphin? What's going on, Intervoid? In no way, shape, or form should a remake or remaster. Resident Evil 4 had its time to shine back in 2005 when it went up against God of War, and it lost. Right? It didn't win back then, I don't believe, or did it win back in? Maybe it did win. Maybe it did win in 2005. Right? Either way, it had its time. I would just remake or remaster previous games of the year. Would that guarantee me a nomination then? I don't know if it's about nomination guarantees, but here's the way I look at it, right? At this point, I would like Resident Evil 4 to win. Just so I can prove to all of you that if Resident Evil 4 wins, moving forward, you're not getting new IPs. You're not getting new games. You're getting the guaranteed games that they sold really well in the past, and you'll be having a full plate of remakes and remasters, and that's all you'll get. Because they won't take the chances on making new IPs. They're just going to remake and remaster everything. And jokingly, in Discord, I was like, I can't wait for Skyrim remastered, Grand Theft Auto 5 remastered, Spider-Man 2 remastered again. Right? I can't wait for this stuff. Spider-Man remastered squared. I agree it's not the first time. Didn't say it was the first time. And every time it comes up every single year, Paul, I complain about it. There should not be a remake or remastered in the categories, period, taking a spot from a game that came out brand new this year. They already made the remake of Last of Us for no reason. They're gonna remake games because it sells really well. That's why they do it. All right. So one of the topics we're going to talk about, and we might as well talk about Hogwarts Legacy now. We'll just get that out of the way. Okay. Hogwarts Legacy Snubbed by the Game Awards is what we're going to talk about first. All right. Let me get my thoughts together here. Because I literally do all these on the fly. I read the story, get my thoughts together as I'm reading the story, and then say stuff. I do have a caveat to this, may I ask, but if it's a remake of a game that didn't release over here, would that be acceptable or no? Does it have remake or remaster in the title? I don't know. Yeah, this has nothing to do if you like the game or love the game, Eclipse. You know what I mean? It's about the game in 2005 was up for Game of the Year. It had its time to shine. If you want to release the game and people want to play the game and Resident Evil 5 or 4, whatever, is popular and people buy it and play it, cool. Right? It doesn't take anything away from the game itself. Resident Evil 4 doesn't need to win Game of the Year. Doesn't need to be a contender of Game of the Year. It literally took a spot away from, I don't know, let's just say Hogwarts, Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, Diablo 4, whatever. Final Fantasy 16, right? It took a spot away from something that potentially could have had its time to shine, but it doesn't because a game that was back from 2005 that remade took a spot. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about an article from GameRant, Hogwarts Legacy Snubbed by the Game Awards 2023. Now, before I get into this, I want to make sure when I'm reading this article, I don't want anyone to think that I think Hogwarts should have win any category whatsoever. The reason I'm reading this article and giving you my thoughts is I played Hogwarts Legacy. I am not a Harry Potter fan. I played Hogwarts Legacy. I thought it was a wonderful game. It was actually a game that came out, and it was not broke, buggy, unfinished when it came out. And they released it on the current gen consoles, and they released it on the last gen consoles, and now they were just releasing, I think today as of making this video, they're releasing it on the Nintendo Switch. Okay. Overall, this game had so much turmoil and stuff happening to it when it first came out because of nothing about the game. No merits of the game gave it why it was being criticized. It was being criticized because people are idiots and taking the words of an author, okay, that had nothing to do with the actual game itself. She made the stories of Harry Potter, okay, and yet this game is based 100 years ahead of time, and the company made the game based off of the books and the movies and did a wonderful job, but yet people gave it crap. And this is where I believe the video game industry doesn't have a spine, all right, because they didn't have the balls to nominate a game that needs to get nominated for a category, okay? I'm not saying Game of the Year. I'm not saying it needs to win. It needs to be nominated, okay? So much so that the Grammys, which are much more, popular and more gravitas, okay, more weight behind it than Jeff Keighley's video game award show, okay? So here's the soundtrack for video games and other interactive media that got nominated for a Grammy. Okay. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, God of War Ragnarok, Hogwarts Legacy, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Stray Gods. Okay. None of these, I don't believe, I'll have to go check. I'm pretty sure none of these, because God of War Ragnarok came out last year or whatever. Jedi Survivor came out this year. I don't think it got nominated for soundtrack, though. I'll have to go back and actually check it, okay? But how does a game like Hogwarts Legacy get nominated for a Grammy, but yet doesn't get nominated for a soundtrack, audio design, art direction, anything? Again, this is not about winning. This is just about getting nominated, okay? So Hogwarts Legacy is snubbed by the Game Awards 2023. Now, the Game Awards 2023 nominees have been announced, and the fans have noticed a glaring omission from the lineup. Open world Harry Potter action RPG Hogwarts Legacy wasn't nominated for a single category, and Hogwarts Legacy released in February to mostly positive reviews and currently the best-selling video game release of 2023. The game found a great deal of success in PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X before continuing its momentum on PlayStation 4, Xbox One later the year. Now, I just want to make it clear that game sales have nothing to do, you would hope, with the technical aspect of what the game is. Obviously, if it sells well, means it's people like it, but it has nothing to do with the overall why it gets nominated or not. Hogwarts Legacy also has been highly praised on all platforms it released on so far, though Nintendo's Switch version is still unproven. It releases today. While the jury is still out on the quality of Hogwarts Legacy's Switch port, the game has proven to be a massive hit on other platforms. With Hogwarts Legacy enjoying so much praise from both game critics and games themselves, some fans have been baffled by the exclusion of the Game Awards in 2023. Now, obviously, they go into the article. I believe it's 100% pushed by the political, that they don't want the drama behind it. Now, with 2023 being stacked with critically acclaimed releases, it's safe to say that many of the fans didn't assume that Hogwarts Legacy would be getting a Game of the Year nod. However, many are likely surprised that the game wasn't nominated in any category. Now, the argument could be made that Hogwarts Legacy to be nominated for multiple Game Award categories like Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Audio Design, Best Role-Playing Game, yet the game is nowhere to be found. What makes the snubs even more egregious is that the Grammys have recognized Hogwarts Legacy's score and music as being exceptional, with the game earning a nomination at the long-running award show. Okay? Now, why was Hogwarts Legacy nominated, or why wasn't it nominated for any rewards during the 2023. Now, there hasn't been an official statement on the matter, but two explanations are most likely. Okay, one scenario is that people who voted on the list of nominees simply didn't think Hogwarts Legacy deserved a nod in any of the categories, which is a whole nother, like, you look at some of the games that got nominated for some of the categories, and you're like, why is that game there? That's a whole different conversation. The other possibility is that Hogwarts Legacy was left off because of the game's divisiveness, okay? While Hogwarts Legacy reviewed well, it was praised by all the accomplishments as a video game, Harry Potter brand in forever tied to the controversial creator J.K. Rowling's, including the game that would also have likely caused some serious backlash. That's exactly why it didn't get nominated. That would also threaten to overshadow the entire show and ruin things for other nominated games. Now, this also wasn't nominated in any category for the Golden Joystick Awards as well. It's very odd that two awards, I'm not even going to say award shows, two awards, one of the best games this year, just weird that it's not nominated for anything. And is it because everybody in the industry didn't like the game and there was other better games out there? Perhaps. Or was it because they didn't want it to overshadow because of what happened earlier in the year? Now, of course, Hogwarts Legacy's absence from the Game Awards nominees list could be a combination of both possibilities, and two, that also people who nominated games didn't think it deserved a nomination because of J.K. Rowling's, as opposed to the quality of the game itself. And I agree, that's one of the things that I think is happening, okay? Because of the drama behind J.K. Rowling's and what she said, which is a completely different conversation, not because of the merits of what the actual game is. Now, regardless, this wouldn't be the first time that the game got snubbed at the Game Awards, and it won't be the last, as is something that happens with all award shows. Now, I do find it very odd that the game that doesn't get nominated in the video game space, both from the Joystick Awards and also from Keighley Fest, as I call it, but yet the Grammys take it and go, yeah, this is really good stuff. This is like theatrical movie-making stuff here. And this is why we're nominating it for it. Now, there's other possibilities why it didn't get nominated, right? Maybe all the other games are just so much better. But there's a bigger problem, I think, with the industry itself. One, we know that politics are involved in all things, okay? And we don't like to hear that. But I think because certain games like Octopath Travelers and Hogwarts Legacy, and there was another game that I was thinking of that didn't get nominated, that these games didn't get nominated, which is just absurd. Hogwarts stands out to me not because people didn't like the game, not because they didn't think it was good or not. It's because they didn't want the drama. Again, There's no actual proof besides both award shows not nominating one category for a game that's the #1 selling game this year, one of the most popular games this year based on how many people just loved playing it and the attention to detail that went into it. But yet, here we are. The Video Game Award Show, in my opinion, again, has no merits anymore because they make up so many different categories and make up things that are like, it's like a popularity contest in high school. It's not about the merits of the people that actually make the games. Something's definitely wrong with the industry. Something's definitely wrong with the people running the industry, if it's the outlets of people that vote on, if it's the studios that actually vote on it. But they don't have the balls to nominate a game that should be nominated for at least one category, okay? And again, I'm not trying to fight it for it should win in any category, but to be nominated in the categories is the problem. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. There's a lot of problems, right? I have other issues with the Video Game Award Show. Not that I'm, like, losing sleep over it, okay? But there's certain glaring things, right? And we'll get into this conversation with you guys in chat. I'm going to read your guys what you said while I was talking. And then... all right, let's see. Travis says, Hogwarts Legacy is the first new category best game to get screwed by politics. I personally disagree because sometimes a remake or remaster, depending on how in-depth they go and the dev team works, is hard for the team who made a new game that deserved to be recognized. Bros, I disagree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I disagree with you because, again, they didn't make a new IP. They took something that had a basis, and the game literally had its time to shine in 2005. It's literally called a remake. It's literally called a remake. There's so many remakes and remasters, they need to make a category for it. Hands down. Okay? There's so many problems with the Video Game Award Show, and I'm gonna show you why. Okay? Because if the best... Where is it? Where is it? Best... Is it best action adventure? No, that's not it. That's best sim, best fighting, best RPG. Okay. In this year's awards, do you think Final Fantasy, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, or Starfield is going to beat Baldur's Gate in RPG? Right? Because this is an RPG, and then it's also Game of the Year, do you think Baldur's Gate could lose Best RPG, but yet be Best Game of the Year? Like Dead Space Remake, for example, it was almost a completely different game, realistically lighting. Don't care. It's a remake. Did everyone remember to vote? You want to say one person, one vote. Doesn't matter at all. I finally got around to playing Hogwarts. The game is a lot of fun. I love the art and music in this game, and the map is fun to explore. There's no best MMO category. Let's see. Didn't know Hogwarts got a Grammy nod? Now that's fucked up. I'm just saying. It's a little weird, right? Once again, what is the criteria for being nominated? Show me the prerequisites for being nominated and explain why Hogwarts didn't get nominated for anything. So news games are coming out next year for gaming, and we're still going to get getting the same thing from the next games awards in 2024. I mean, look, again, I have no problem with remakes and remasters. If you buy them and play them and you have fun with them, fantastic. If you want to make a category for remakes and remasters, fantastic. I mean, they put sports and fighting games together, right? So put best remakes and remasters inside a thing. There's going to be plenty of remasters and remakes coming. Hogwarts was more of an RPG than Lies of P and Final Fantasy 16. That's another problem with these award shows, Paul. And I'm glad you brought it up, right? I'm glad you brought it up. Okay. Now, obviously, Lies of P is not really a RPG. Sure, you put some stats in there and you're like, oh, it's an RPG, but it's not a RPG. Okay. Same with Final Fantasy 16, but it is more of than Lies of P. This could have went maybe not to Hogwarts, but it could have went to something else as well, right? Then there's also this game where this is why the industry is broke, in my opinion, right? Where is it? And you guys will disagree with me, and that's fine. Best ongoing, okay? The fact that Cyberpunk, and you guys will defend this because you're like, well, it's a good game now. The fact that Cyberpunk 2077 is in this category, okay? And it was broke, buggy, unfinished. They told you the game was going to be one way, and it took them 3 years to get it to where it is today, right? Now, this is nothing to take away from the DLC, but the DLC was part of the thing that also made the 2.0, which also made the game back to good what it is. Making a game shitty from the start and then fixing it along the way for 3 years, okay, is not making a game based on this, an outstanding development, ongoing content, and involves the player's experience over time. You literally made this game unfinished at start and then made patches to fix it. Thousands and thousands of fixes and bugs to then get rewarded for it later. You literally had the game broke at the start. And I'm supposed to give you a round of applause because you're fixing something that was broke? Where's Battlefield 2042? Where's Halo Infinite? Where's all these other games that were broke, buggy, unfinished, and had support, and now they're better games? Where is it? Right? Where is it? Ridiculous. Right? Right? They fixed the game that they promised to you in the very beginning, and now it's an ongoing game. Get the fuck out of here. It's not a live service game. Well, Halo and 2042 are ongoing games. That's what the category is, isn't it? Best ongoing game. Hell, I wouldn't want Battlefield 2042 on here because they did the exact same thing Cyberpunk did. Released a broken game, fixed it over time, and they want a fucking round of applause. Award to a game for outstanding development. Well, that eliminates Cyberpunk. This is not for the DLC. This is for Cyberpunk 2077. This is not for Phantom Liberty. This is not for the best actor in Phantom Liberty. This is literally for the game Cyberpunk 2077. It's ridiculous, right? There's little things here. So my problem is Resident Evil 4 shouldn't be in the category for Game of the Year. There's other games that came out, especially this year. Okay? There's so many games that came out, right? That you could have slotted in the sixth game of being... I have no problem with the other games being in there, right? Have no problem. Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man, Super Mario, Legends. It's just this game right here. Right? I have a problem with the RPG, with certain games in the RPG slot. Right? Everyone's like, oh, there's so many games that came out this year. There's so many games came out this year. There's so many to pick from, and yet we picked Resident Evil 4 Remake to put into the Game of the Year. We've never had this many games before. There's so many good games. Let's take a remake of a game from 2005, and let's put it in that elusive 6th slot. Right? Hogwarts Legacy gets nominated for Grammy for Best Audio Design, or whatever the hell it was. What is it for? Best Soundtrack for video games, okay? But yet doesn't get nominated for any sound category in the Video Game Awards. Amazing. Right? And the way it's set up, okay? And this is usually how it goes, right? At least this is how people think it goes. Where, let's say Legend of Zelda wins, like, score and music, right? And then one of the other ones, let's say Zelda wins best, I don't know if it's in art direction, okay? And then all of a sudden Legend of Zelda wins, you know, best art direction. And then it wins whatever else it's in, right? Let's say it wins like 3-4 awards. And the other one, like, if Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't win RPG, then it's not going to win Game of the Year. You know what I'm saying? You can't be the best RPG or not be the best RPG and then also win the Game of the Year. That doesn't make sense, does it? Right? How are you the best in this genre, not the best in this genre, but yet you're going to win Game of the Year? So it's a little weird, right? So obviously Baldur's Gate has to win at least the RPG if it wants to win Game of the Year. The problem now is the industry want to hold this award show as the be all end all. Yeah, and it's a joke, right? And it's a joke, Paul. It's going to win Game of the Year, fighting game, will RPG in the year according to these awards. I mean, it's a little weird, right? I can't take it seriously. But you know what? I don't think Keighley wants it to be taken seriously. I think he wants to be taken seriously within the industry itself and amongst the eyes of the public, but it's not. It's not. And unfortunately, in my eyes, the Grammys disqualified the Video Game Award show. Okay? Because the Grammys are much more, like I said, like, respected. Okay? Because there's actually musical talent there. And when they nominate a video game for that, that's pretty impressive. And yet within the Video Game Awards themselves, they're like, yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Yeah, it's prestigious, right? He wants to make bank with the advertisers and sponsors. Hint, hint, why Hogwarts, not the show. Exactly. Exactly, Paul. Hogwarts, if it was nominated in any category, okay, it would have overshadowed. People would have started talking about it. The Video Game Awards show is racist or sexist. They don't like LGBTQ. They don't like transgender people. All of this stuff would have happened if Hogwarts was nominated in any way, shape, or form. And how idiotic people are to think that with a person said on Twitter represents a company that she wasn't part of, that wasn't part of an actual video game process of hundreds, thousands of people working on this video game, to get nominated for something of their actual work, and not because people are offended by someone's words that had nothing to do with the actual video game itself, is beyond me. It's just that Broken Games remakes and DLCs were nominated. So if Hogwarts didn't get even one, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And that's, I think, a beautiful point there, 8. Like, for me personally, I'm not saying for any of you, because the Joystick Awards didn't nominate it, and because the Video Game Awards show didn't nominate it, okay, now the baton gets tossed to BAFTA. BAFTA comes out in March, February, March. They make their awards announcements for nominations, I think, in January sometime, and then they give out the award in February or March, okay, next year, okay, because they do a January 1st to December 31st, and then they give the awards out. If Hogwarts Legacy doesn't show up on that list, then there's a major issue, Okay. But if it does show up on the list, then we have two things here. Then we have the BAFTA goes, well, we should get some balls and actually nominate it because it's not going to overshadow anything, right? You can't give power to people, make them feel like they're powerful when they have no power over you, okay? You should have nominated the game for what it is, at least the Grammys. We'll see the pushback of the Grammys. I hope Hogwarts wins the Grammys, right? I will laugh my ass off if it wins a Grammy and yet didn't get nominated for Jeff Keighley's little video game award show, right? What's that, Stealth? I tried hard not to draw attention. She drew attention. Gotta love it. Right. And again, I really hope, and I don't care who wins, but I would love to see Resident Evil 4 win. Just so the fact that people are like, oh yeah, Resident Evil should be there. And it beats your Spider-Man game. Or it beats your Legend of Zelda game. Or it beats Baldur's Gate 3. I would love to see the internet melt down when a remake beats Baldur's Gate 3. Man. And I can't wait for all these remakes, okay? All these remakes and remasters to happen, because this is exactly what's going to happen. No, I wouldn't be done gaming, Travis, in any way, shape, or form. I would just laugh my ass off, okay? I would laugh my ass off, because the people that defend that Resident Evil 4 should be there, if it wins, see, they don't want it to win. If it wins and beats one of these other games on this list, boy, watch that meltdown happen. I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins. This means absolutely nothing to me, right? I'll play games regardless if Jeff Keighley gives it the Jeff Keighley Award, right? It doesn't really matter about the awards. It matters about the actual ad revenue that he gets and the eyeballs that he gets. This is why he's probably trying to get Rockstar Games to show the advertisement. The awards are there for the advertisement. The actual show is the advertisements of games showing, and the video and the actual awards is the commercials for the commercials. Where's Starfield? Who gives a shit where Starfield is? That might work in someone else's stream, L. I don't defend Starfield. Starfield wasn't my game of the year. No, I will not. The last Resident Evil I played was actually, it was on the GameCube. It was on the GameCube, and it was I forget which one that was. Was it 3? It was like 2002, 2003. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares about these actual awards. What they want the award show to be is to see what games are coming out. What games are coming out? How does voting break down percentage of the media outlet votes versus consumer? 10% of the consumer. 10%. Original 4 was GameCube? Was it, I mean, it's been so long. No, it's just Resident Evil. It's just Resident Evil. 2002. That's the last one I played. What's going on, Robert? SF wasn't good enough. They didn't show any progression, just a prettier version of Fallout. Sure. Still a good game. Doesn't need to get none of these games need to be validated by Jeff Keighley's award. They don't. Right? Nothing here needs to be validated that it's a good game. So it doesn't really matter who wins. Jesse Max says, we all know that they are making Hogwarts Legacy 2 because they made a wonderful game, and not that they woke people who said it on Twitter, but people that would actually be voting for Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, the amount of votes that you have here is like 10%. Yeah, more people watch the Super Bowl for the commercials than they do the actual game, especially if your team's not in it. The only people that are interested in the Super Bowl are gamblers and people that have their teams in the Super Bowl, right? Everybody else is watching for commercials. All of Resident Evil came out on GameCube as a remake, a remaster, whatever you want. Call them, but Resident Evil 4 was on GameCube first. Yeah, but I didn't play Resident Evil 4 on GameCube. I played Resident Evil in 2002. I was in college when I was playing it. And you know what, Chapter 8? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It doesn't matter if Hogwarts wasn't nominated, but the Video Game Award show, which is supposed to be the standard, right? It's supposed to be like, he's trying to make it where the people that are voting, this is supposed to be like the Academy Awards. That's what Jeff Keighley's trying to make this like. He's trying to make this the one-all, be-all of Game Awards. And I think he's failing. Obviously, financially, he's being very successful. It's the most watched award show, and he's making those numbers, and he's doing very well on that point. But in the actual, to be respected, I think he's failing personally. But that's just me. Just not Game of the Year quality. It had over 100 hours in it. I've been playing Alan Wake 2, and it's amazing with headphones. Resident Evil 4 on the Wii with the aim controller was really fun. Oh yeah, no, the viewership every year, L, is phenomenal. I was like 80. I think he had 84 million or some shit. Prosy, when I say he's failing, I didn't say he's failing. I said, did you listen to the whole thing I said? Did you hear the whole thing I said? Or are you just going to type? I said, for me, he's failing. For respect. Because it's not about respect. It's literally about the ad revenue. You can get all the people you want, and he's being very successful as a businessman, right? And he'll smile ear to ear when Rockstar shows off Grand Theft Auto 6 at his Video Game Award show. But that's what it's about. It's about him getting connections and getting exclusives to show the trailer or talk about the game. The award show is just a front for the advertisements, to show game trailers. Correct, Prosy. He's doing it for him. He's not doing it for the game. That's why I said he's losing my respect, right? He does, as a person who worked in television, he's doing a fantastic job of making an award show. Or I should say, making the look of an award show. He's trying to make the Academy Awards, and yet it's not going to happen. If you want to be like the Academy Awards, you can't be doing what he's doing with wrong things in categories and putting remakes and stuff in it. But hey, it's voted based on the people he invited in, which is like press and companies. I think there's over 120 companies or something like that do it. Jeff is like so many others, wants to look good, but dresses like he's a prostitution. If you want to be the Academy Awards level, somebody, the dude, right? Somebody's got to stand up. You keep your goddamn my game out of your mouth. So I was excited to see what 6 games, and as a community, we failed. We failed because no one, well, not nobody, in our poll, only 4 people. Wait, we didn't even put Alan Wake up there. We didn't put Alan Wake up there. But Mario Wonder, we had 6. Okay, we had 6 for Wonder. Zelda had the most with 22, along with Hogwarts Legacy at 22 votes. We had Starfield with 18. We had Baldur's Gate had 17, and we had Spider-Man with 18. No one picked Resident Evil. Resident Evil had 4 votes. Where is it? Yeah, 4 votes. Lies of P not being mentioned for Game of the Year, but Resident Evil 4 being there is crazy. I think it's crazy that Lies of P's in there for RPG. Well, I just hope Hogwarts Legacy doesn't show their DLC, if they have one, the Game Awards. It'd be interesting to see if they do it now. Maybe they don't show it at the Game Awards. If they do, that means they kind of wins, right? I guess, sure. That would be funny. It shows a DLC. How much of influence over who he brings in to pick the games does Jeff have? Does he have any? Say who they pick? No. Jeff has no attachment to who wins or votes, right? But as his company, as the Game Awards, he invited certain people that, and I don't know if it changes every year or if it's a set people every year, sort of like in the movie industry. If you're part of the union, if you're part of the Academy, right? If you're part of the Directors Guild, you get a vote on the actual films, right? It's voted amongst their peers. Here, it's voted amongst outlets and other, I guess, peers as well. So I don't know if that switches every year or if that is the same people that were picked by his company or his being a friend, being like, hey, I'm inviting you to make the choice of who wins type of thing. How is Cyberpunk an ongoing game? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know how a game can come out which is supposed to be a single-player game that wasn't supposed to be an ongoing game. It was supposed to be a single-player game, and then DLC was supposed to come out. But because the game was so broken buggy, they had to take 3 years to fix it. And because they fixed it, now it's considered an ongoing game. It's amazing to me. Question, do we think Capcom has enough money that they could pay for this? Nah. It was the idiot developers. Capcom for Resident Evil, you're saying? I don't know. I mean, didn't Resident Evil sell like 4 or 5 million copies? It's not like it didn't sell well. It sold phenomenally, right? I also think it's funny that didn't Resident Evil 4 which is another stupid thing. In the Golden Joystick Awards, Resident Evil 4, I believe, won PlayStation Game of the Year. It's on all platforms. It's on all platforms. And Spider-Man didn't get nominated because it missed the cutoff date. It missed the cutoff date. And then Alan Wake won most anticipated or player's choice, I think, for the Golden Joystick Awards. Wasn't Cyberpunk supposed to have a multiplayer, even when it wouldn't be an ongoing game? I mean, once they put it in, Jones, I guess it would be an ongoing game. PlayStation loves remakes and remasters. Yeah, but Paul, Resident Evil 4 is on all platforms. You know what game isn't on all platforms? Final Fantasy 16. So Final Fantasy 16 didn't win Best PlayStation Game of the Year, even though it's on PlayStation? Like, here's the best part. Here's the best part. Let's go to the ongoing. Best ongoing. Right? Where's all the other games that are actually ongoing? Cyberpunk filled that gap. Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was trash when it first released, but that was because it's an ongoing game. Prosy, obviously. Cyberpunk was an ongoing game. That's why when it came out, it wasn't supposed to be good. They were fixing it over the next 3 years because it was part of the ongoing game. Please don't say Halo deserves a spot. I mean, hell, that's an actual ongoing game. Cyberpunk is not. Right? Fallout 76 is an ongoing game. Halo's an ongoing game. What other games? There's a bunch of games I'm missing. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But you know what game doesn't come to my mind for ongoing game? Cyberpunk 2077. So you would be upset if an actual ongoing game was in the spot of Cyberpunk. Redfall's considered an ongoing game. Yeah, but Redfall's a piece of shit. It wouldn't be nominated for an ongoing game. It wouldn't be even considered as a game. What's going on, Tubes? Would you say that sports games are ongoing? Well, sports games would be in their own category of sports games. Yeah, the ongoing game, Rose, was an award for an outstanding development for ongoing content that evolves the player's experience over time. This is not for Phantom Liberty. This is for Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk came out broke, buggy, and they had to patch it for the next 3 years. That's not an ongoing game. That's you fixing your game. The stuff that they added to the game was supposed to be in the game at launch, and yet they added it to the game, what they said was supposed to be at launch 3 years later, and now it's an ongoing game. Come on, bro. Right, Diablo 4, right? They should have a new category, Lurker, but it shouldn't be called that. It should be, it's not how it releases, it's how it finishes. And that's the category. It's not how it releases, it's how it finishes. I guess with that one sentence they talk about the update before Phantom Liberty, DLC up to this point has never been at least in their own awards, has never been a ongoing game, right? Like paid DLC, right? Path of Exile Eclipse. Where's Path of Exile? Yeah, I don't care who wins. It's about the nominations and certain games in certain categories. The Game as of Today award. The game that could be good. Right? The game that could be good. Is the trophy, if it's not how it releases, how it finishes, a Todd Howard leather jacket. Yeah. It's like the PGA Masters. They put a green jacket on you. You come over and they put Todd Howard's leather coat on you. Most improved category. The best potential award goes to the category of what may be in the future. It just works. And then it doesn't work. The No Man's Sky award goes to No Man's Sky. Oh, hey. The No Man's Sky award goes to No Man's Sky. We should make an award show. We should make an award show and have different categories, and then just there's no nominations. We'll just throw in a bunch of nominations there and make our own award show with our own categories is what we should do. Sarge, I think we should do an award show. I think we should make an award show on GXG. Instead of actually watching the video game award show, we make up our own awards and hand them out to potential games. We might have to do something. I don't know if I'll be able to put it together this year, but next year we might have to do something. Suicide Squad thing, I don't know when it is tomorrow. But you want to know something? You want to know something, Water? You brought it up? Let me go to the let me go to the past broadcast. I said it when it got delayed. Where is it? It was like around. All right. So hold on. I said this 7 months ago on how they would release Suicide Squads moving forward as Hogwarts Legacy. But WB saw what they did with that in December, show something in January, and then boom, drop it in February. That would be a huge upgrade for Suicide Squad at this point. But they'll probably start promoting it in November, show something in December, show something in January, and then boom, drop it in February. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to do as good or as well as Hogwarts Legacy, but WB saw what they did with that game and how they dropped it out, because they haven't been doing anything at this point. Nothing up to this point. Games coming out, they haven't been advertising since the state of play a couple weeks ago, with the marketing and stuff. So I think they reset They're still working on the polish. They'll probably take out the always online aspect of this game. I think that'll be a huge success for them if they do that. Obviously, I don't think they're going to change much more. I think this is going to be a looter. This is going to be where they're going to still have the cosmetics. They're still going to do all that stuff. I think they're just kind of resetting, trying to make a couple of changes, maybe polishing, maybe working on other content that when they drop it, they have stuff already in the pipeline. But November comes, we're going to start seeing something. The Game Awards show, we'll see something. January, we'll see something. In February, it comes out. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you upset? So tomorrow's stream for Suicide Squads is for gameplay and story. And if you remember what they did for Hogwarts Legacy, the first stream was basically the overview of the gameplay and then the story and then so on and so forth, right? And I said that's the way they're going to do the advertisement now. They're going to start hyping up the game by showing you these big chunks of stuff. It might be like a 5-minute trailer. It might be a 15-minute long thing. It might be a 2-minute long trailer, whatever it is. But they're going to show you what the gameplay and the storyline is. And then probably next month, they'll show you another trailer. They might do another deep dive or another release of a trailer that tells you more about the meat and potatoes of the game. Then in January, they'll do it again. And then it comes out February 2nd. You think I made this yesterday? I would have to change. I would have to change my. Look. 7 months ago. 7 months ago. I'm just a crazy guy on the internet. I think he made this yesterday. Travis, there's 8,000 people playing Diablo 4 just on Steam. And most of the people bought it on the Blizzard launcher. Come on, show me offline mode. I get a 30 bingo. What is 30 bingo? How would you play that? All right, we're done with that. We got Sony patent would be a game changer for PlayStation 5 story games. I have no idea what this is. We're going to read it. Yeah, that's not bingo. You would have to put, to play 30 bingo, you would put like makes fun of somebody, talks about Hogwarts, talks about Jedi Survivor. You would have to put a bunch of things that I say all the time, and then when I do it, then you would win, right? Something like that. We did that for Marvel's Avengers for the developer streams. We played developer bingo. Silent Words says all story games need to be existing IP remasters or remakes, patent approved. You can now play Portal on PlayStation Portal while traveling through a portal. Blew my mind, Ron. As long as Rocksteady proves to us that it's consistent pump out comic book content that will have a great game on their hands, Yeah, they got to do a lot more than that to get people on board, Water. Before they can even get to the content, they got to make sure that the game is actually fun to play and the story's good. If the story's good and the gameplay is fun, then they can have to start worrying about the actual content they come in with. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Sony's patent would be a game changer for PlayStation 5 story games. Before I get to this, make sure you hit that like button. We do these quite a bit throughout the week, Monday through Thursday. All right, so every player has a favorite moment or level from a popular PlayStation game, and the new patent from Sony could allow them to replay them over and over again without having to start a new campaign. There have been many promising PlayStation patents filed over the past few years, offering a new feature and peripherals that also could either increase players' immersion or help them make gaming in general more accessible to everyone. One option many gamers would like is the ability to replay a particular story chapter after finishing their main playthrough. Certain story-based PlayStation titles like the original Spider-Man already include an option to jump into a particular section of the story after completing them, but this is hardly a universal standard. These days, most of the biggest video game story moments can be watched in clips online, but many of the gamers feel that this is hardly a substitute for any experiencing them from behind the controller. I'm confused. Why do you have to have a patent for this? Why can't you just, as a game developer, go, checkpoint? Have them start at this checkpoint. Anyway, a new patent filed directly from Sony could change that for PlayStation 5 gamers going forward. As reported by Experter, the new patent, officially dubbed Content Streaming with Gameplay Launch, has described a system that would add a trigger points to certain cutscenes or story moments throughout the game's primary campaign. This would allow a player to jump back and forth. That's what I just said. Is that what I just said? Just put a checkpoint? That's what it is? You're patenting a checkpoint? Marked moments at any time they wish, similar to how Blu-ray viewers can skip ahead into a movie by accessing this section, scene selection in the menu. Okay, so let's look at this. So, can I open this up on a new tab? Okay, so start. Storing information regarding media content and the memory of the media content, at least one or more trigger points. Each trigger point associates with the set of game data specifics to scene with the interactive title. Stream then media content over communication network to a user device, and then it receives the selection of one or more trigger points on the communication network from the user device. Identify the set of the game data associates with selected trigger points, and then launch the interactive title of the gameplay by the user device based on an identity set of game data associated with the selected trigger point. Okay. Sony also mentioned how the system would let players redo in-game choices in titles, like Detroit Become Human, so like save scumming. All right. By allowing them to go back to the point where they said choices were made and pick different options instead, Sony's document argues that it would be a boon for players who want to go on a different narrative path without having to start a new game from the very beginning. Sure enough, the ability to freely move between certain story chapters and replay them is a popular feature in first-party PlayStation 5 games like Detroit Become Human Until Dawn, but it remains sorely missing in narrative titles like God of War Ragnarok and recently released Marvel Spider-Man 2. Many fans would like the option to go back and replay a certain boss battle or set-piece moments without having to start the game from scratch, and the latest Sony patent could give them the option to just do that if it was implemented. Here's what I think they're doing. And maybe you guys will disagree with me in chat and maybe in the comment section down below. Just like the comments that Todd Howard made many years ago where he said that people still play the same game over and over, where they're playing, they're not making any money from those people. So this Sony patent kind of reminds me of if you buy a game, right, but you really love that game, or if you're playing that game, that means you're not playing another game that comes out in a month's time or 2 months' time, right? And follow me here. So if I play a game and I have to pick and choose my way of going, instead of saving and going back and then picking a different option, right? That's in certain games, but a lot of games, they're not, as they're saying. So as you play through a campaign, you can't go the other direction, so you have to beat the game and then go back and then play the game again and then go a different direction. And while you're doing that, if it took you 15, 30 hours to do that, then you're not using that 15 to 30 hours to play something else that they would like to sell you, right? So they want you to kind of go through it. This is a lot of the Sony patents. Sony patents that we've read in the past have been where they help you with the game if you're stuck. They have a patent where the actual NPC tells you how to complete the actual thing. We kind of saw that in Ragnarok, right? Now they have a patent where it gets you where you can pause and stop and pick the places that you want to go, so you don't have to do multiple playthroughs. So I would think that Sony's looking at this going, well, how do we sell more games? How do we get people to go through more? And so they're selling these patents and services and stuff like that, where they're trying to get you through the game faster. I don't know if this is what they're doing. This is the way I'm taking it because of all the other patents that we've read on this channel that Sony has. Again, NPCs playing the game for you, yelling at the television to get the commercials done. What's it called? Where you are calling a help center and they complete the game for you, tell you how to complete it, where the NPCs actually give you the hints inside the game so you're not there too long and you're moving along. And now this, where you could be like, well, I chose A, and I really wanted to choose B, so now I can go back to the checkpoint or go back, rewind like a DVR, and then pick B instead. So instead of you saving and then going back to that save, it would automatically be able to move point to point based on this patent. I don't know. Do you guys like this? Let me know in the comment section down below. Would you use this feature? Is this one of those features that you're like, it's not really that good, but then when it comes in, you'll be like, man, this is a really cool feature that they put in. Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. They're trying to reactivate toys. We'll look at that in a second, Stealth. They just referred to the game as a AAA game. Well, a AAA game is based on the price that they've spent on it. Right? Independent games are below, I think indie games are below like $50 million. So what are the save points and checkpoints good for? So if you're playing a game, I don't know, let's say Spider-Man 2. I don't know what bosses are there. You're fighting Venom, but you want to go back to fight Venom later, but you can't in the game because you move through the story, right? And now you have to complete the story and then play the story again before you can play Venom again. Well, now if you just want to go back and fight Venom, you would just go back to that point. Right? You just go back to that point, like a DVR or checkpoint, a save point, whatever it is. So now you can just do that fight over and over again, Jones. That's what their way they described it in the article. Why isn't they putting as a patent reply mission points is where you new game plus is where you also I don't get it, Jesse. Dropping a save and reloading is now patented? That's what I'm saying, dude. I was like, why don't you just put a checkpoint? Like, how hard would it be drop a point, make a save, label it boss fight 1. You continue on with your story. You're like, you know what? I want to go back to that load game and then play the fight and then do boss fight 1. I mean, regardless if they're rewinding it or not, you're only at that level. So if I was at level 10 at that point, and I go continue the game, and then I want to go back and fight that boss, I'm back at level 10. I'm not at level 20 going back to fight that boss. It's a little weird. Paul says, PlayStation fans, stop calling all our games movie games. Sony, here, you can play our game like it's a movie now. Yeah. Yeah. Just looks like something more games that have already either save points or checkpoints or selectable levels. That's what I'm saying, Jones. Third-party games will have a level replay option only on Sony. Well, no, they're inside the article. It says that there's games that are like it. It says, where the hell was it? It says like Detroit. It says Sony has mentioned on how the system would let players redo in-game choices in titles like Detroit Become Human, but it also goes on and says Until Dawn, right? Chapters replay them is a popular feature in first-party PlayStation 5 games like Detroit Becomes Human, Until Dawn, but it also remains sorely missed in narrative titles like God of War and Spider-Man. I need an old angry guy screaming at me. It's right freaking there, you idiot. Just solve the damn puzzle. It would be groundbreaking. Or the part you play as Venom. I think people would love to see that people that were already using a lot out of the boundary. Wait a minute. I missed that. It scrolled up. People are already using it, a out of boundaries glitch to free roam as Venom. There you go. Pretty much like the movie where you can have chapters and pick out from the DVD, like back in the day. Right. That's what they're saying. It would be like a DVD Blu-ray where you can just go back and... Sarge says the only reason that they're getting to patents for stupid shit is for they can find a way to charge you for it later. Multiple ending games, save before the story defining changes. Right, Quintire, which is already there. Like, for instance, even in Starfield, like if you do something, you're like, I want to save before I answer this question, right? Before you go up to someone, you save. And that way, if you don't like the outcome of the thing, you go back and save. And then even in a looter, right? You kill the boss, you don't like the drop, you reset the checkpoint, you do the thing again, and you go over again. That's basically what they want to do. But they're saying if you go back, they're going to let you. So you play the game, you make a checkpoint, you make a checkpoint, you make a checkpoint, you make a checkpoint. You keep continue playing through the campaign, and then you're like, oh, I want to go back, and then you play this guy, and then you play over here. But that's kind of weird because, again, if you're level 20 in a game or a high level where you're unlocked a bunch of skill tree stuff, and then you want to go back and fight this guy over here, are you going to have all the stuff over here? Because at that point, it's like a new game plus type of thing, right? Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 does it right now. No patent. Insomniac Games already said that they were going to, for New Game Plus, replay missions in December before Sony announced a patent today. Sounds dumb to me, in my opinion. Well, maybe they already filed the patent. Maybe the patent just came out now, and when they told you they were doing New Game Plus, that was the reason because they put this, and now it's out in the public. I don't know. Speaking of Dark Tide 3, characters level 30, where are you guys? Are we playing or what? I'm not playing, Sarge. I might play Jusant tonight to finish that game out. We're playing Battle... Actually, Sarge, can you play tonight, Battlefield 1, or can you play Wednesday, Battlefield 1? I always love the patents that they do and they never do anything with it. I'm looking at you, WB, with your Nemesis system that you patented and then no one can use it. Right, dude. Sony solved the problem that doesn't exist. Tomorrow, yes. All right. We'll do it tomorrow then. Sony just loves saying a bunch of nothing if their fans try to spin it like it's groundbreaking. Sounds like Apple. Apple's like, did you see the phone they made? It's like, it's a phone. No, but it's got a screen. And it's got some buttons. It's groundbreaking. "2024 best ongoing game, Sony's patent." Nice. Nice, Chapter 8. Yeah, the Nemesis system is so good, but no one can use it. So many games could have used that Nemesis system, but WB is like, no, we're holding on to that. We're going to patent something and then never use it again. Sorry, I went to unmute myself and instead I hit the scene changer. Agreed, but they're not giving it to anybody. Can you make a patent on something and then relinquish the patent? Rumor is that Nemesis system is going to be in the Wonder Woman game. Okay. That's what I call benefiting the industry. That's right. Yep, ask Rogan. Oh, Rogaine. They didn't mean to? They didn't mean to what? I don't know that story. Oh, they did. They relinquished their patent. What did they have a patent on? Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I'll have to look it up. They had a patent on only the FDA-approved, proven to work hair growth medicine. Charged an arm and a leg for it. Lost their patent and now has 18 generic cheap versions at Walmart. Interesting. Are you trying to hint something? Chapter 8? You trying to hint something? I'm not passive aggressive enough for that. All right, I'm gonna show you because I'm interested in I'm interested in Transformers Reactivate, and there's been a bunch of stuff that just came out for the toys and whatnot, and it's my show, so so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is Soundwave. This is what Soundwave looks like in the Transformers Reactivate game. Cue Travis saying it's not a real game and whatnot. Insert Travis jokes here. Okay, there's Laserbeak. He looks good. Laserbeak looks good. There's Soundwave. Look at him. It looks good. God damn, this game better be good. This game better be good. And I'm talking good where it doesn't get nominated for any awards good. Okay? There's Starscream's toy. They refer to it as a AAA game. Yeah, this better not suck, yeah. There is Bumblebee's toy. I have to admit, they look pretty cheap. They look pretty cheap. They're that like plasticky, like cheap plastic. While they showing the toys? Because the game's coming out, Sarge. That's why they're showing the toys. Oh, look, they have the actual packaging. The leaked package had a different package on it. This one is the 2-pack with the reactivate. They go on sale at 1 p.m. Eastern and will be a limited release. Hold on. That's a high quality picture. Can I? I'm trying to look at the game. I'm trying to look at the graphics for the game. Well, they're overseas now, Stealth. So I would say they probably would come out and ship in time. See, Soundwave, I honestly, I don't like the way the toys look. They look cheaply made. I gotta pick them up. They look like a light plastic. They feel like there's no weight to it. You know what I'm saying? I know they don't make the toys like they used to. Started like, Starscream's an F-15 fighter, not an Avenger or Harrier. Get your shit together. You see what I'm saying? And maybe I'm having a different vision of like when I was a kid and how cool the toys were compared to. I bought my son. I don't even know where the hell it is. I bought him a cliff jumper toy when we were on vacation, and it looked cool, right? But when I opened the box, I was like, oh, this is very, very cheaply made. Optimus Prime looks cool. I think they're missing a big opportunity. And maybe they talked about it during the stream, I don't know, Stealth, but I think they're missing a big opportunity that if I buy the toys, that I get the characters unlocked in the game. With a QR code or something. Something, you know what I mean? Like an amiibo type of thing, like the Disney Infinity type of stuff. I don't know why video game companies don't get on board with this shit. Like, you could just sell the toy as a toy. But if I also have the toy and then play your game, then I can take the toy and put him in the game, and then now I have that character. No, not that Skylanders crap. Why? If it's a toy, it's just a toy, Travis. But if you have the toy and you also play the game, you can scan it in. I don't understand the problem. Because they make less money? They're charging $70. Oh, 76. Tell me about it, man. Right? I have toys that are 40 years old. And they were played hard for 15 of those years. Okay? I give my son a toy, it's broke. It's broke within a week. I don't know. Obviously, I understand why they're doing cars for Decepticons, because like Soundwave, he turns into a tape deck. Where's he moving? Right? But you know what this truck reminds me of? Sarge, remember Mask? What's that guy's truck? The black truck with that little pop up on the back where he had the gun turret come out. I know you remember Mask, but what's that? Jackhammer. That's it. Is that? I'm a little late. Chapter 8. I can't do that now. I can't do that first part. Oh, Mask toys were fantastic. Look how skinny his legs are here. Why does he almost look black there? Isn't he blue? I guess it's just the coloring. I wonder why they teamed them up like that. Like, why didn't they put Optimus Prime and Bumblebee and Starscream and Soundwave together? I wonder why they did that. Sorry, son. There's a nice orphanage. People will take care of you. You shouldn't have broken Daddy's toys. If this does well, maybe we get my dream game Battlefield with G.I. Joe. I doubt it, but maybe. Yeah, because, look, here's how you sell. See, and this is how you sell more toys, okay? People don't buy the toys anymore, right? But because those are cheaply made toys, okay? And if I played the game and it was free to play, and I got, let's say, Soundwave, right? So let's say Optimus Prime, let's say it's 4 characters in the beginning. I don't know if this is how it works, but let's say there's 4 characters in the beginning, okay? And with the 4 characters, you pick one of those characters, and then the other 3 go away, okay? So out of Bumblebee, Starscream, Optimus Prime, or Soundwave, I pick Soundwave, right? So now I'm Soundwave. That was the freebie that I got for time/money. So I have Soundwave. Now I'm leveling up Soundwave. And now I get other pieces where I can make Bumblebee, I can make Optimus Prime, I can make Starscream, or I go to the store and buy the actual toy. And when I buy the actual toy, I can scan them in, and then boom, now I have Starscream, Bumblebee, and Soundwave, right? In your brain, you're thinking that, well, they wouldn't sell as many. No, they would sell more toys, because people that didn't even buy the toys would be like, wait a minute, if I buy the toy, I can put them in the game, and that saves me the time, and I get a toy, I get a physical product, and I can play in the video game. That would sell way more. You're already making the toy. You sent me a photo? There's no picture. You sent me a text. Here you go. That's all I got. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't. I don't know how to show that. Didn't we have him? Or was that Dave's? And that was Dave's. Sarge just got that. This is from Mask. That's the one with it's like a scorpion. The sides come out. The little chain comes out the back. Are they still making those toys that scan to games? I think the Amiibos they do. I think those were two. Here's the difference, right? Here's the difference, Paul. Hold on. Or, I meant Jones, not Paul, right? So the difference between this and like what you're looking at there with the toys here is these are toys that actually roll and play and you actually can use them. This is nothing, right? This is cool looking, right? Right? This is cool looking, but it doesn't do anything. It just that's what it does. I can go right? But with Transformers, you're actually like playing with the thing and transforming it and doing, you know, whatever. Right? These things I collected. I loved leveling these up inside the game. Like this is a maxed out Boba Fett, right? How cool is that, right? So if someone else had this game and I traded my Boba Fett to them, or I came over to my friend's house and put this on the thing, then I would have a full-fledged leveled up character. How cool would that be? Right? You're living that's the kid's dream, man. Right? Taking your toy and then putting him into a video game and then leveling him up, like you're like, my toy is leveling up. And I can take that toy and play it and I'm playing. You know what I mean? Like it's just so cool. Wait, 30. Boba Fett doesn't shoot guns anymore. Yeah, he's a passive monk. Yeah, he's a passive monk now. I wish I had a computer that I can say enhance. I get better crystal clear pictures. Like splash damage. Can you do me a favor? Can you just release the footage? Right? Just this clip. Like a high-res clip. You have it on the back of a box. Just release it. Those games didn't last. Those games didn't last because the toys were too much. The molds for these were too much. And no one was buying these. Why? Because the fucking toy doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Transformers transform. It can roll and play. You can play with the actual toy itself. I'll send you better pictures. Well, by that time, I hope they release certain things. Plastic bag. Or plastic bad. Paper toys only now. Here's Optimus Prime in paper form. That's so much fun. Yeah, but this is not a pay to win toy though, Jones. Like you would actually have to level this character up in your game. Do we think this game makes it past a year? Oh yeah, minimum 2.5. Minimum 2.5. The thing is about this game is they could still earn the Transformers in game, but if you buy the Transformers toy, you get the game. You get it in game also, and that's a really smart idea. Of course, it's a smart idea because if you're not a toy collector and you just play the game, you're playing the game and you're spending money in the game, and you could just buy the character in the game, right? And then you would have to level them up. Or you earn it through time, and you get the resources, and then you make the character like Warframe, right? Or you go to the store, and you buy the $70 box of the two characters, and then you have the toys, the physical toys, and now you can put them in the game. Now, you can't put it on the box, though. You can't scan the box. If you scan the box, the code has to be inside or on the toy itself. Because what happens is people will take their pictures and scan the box with their phone, and then they'll scan the thing, and then so on and so forth. So they have to put it in a way where you own the toy, the code's on the toy, or in the box underneath the toy. How pissed would you be if it took 5 years to develop Dead in under a year? I wouldn't be pissed. As long as, and here's the I wouldn't be pissed if I could play the game offline. Right? If it's an online game only, which it sounds like it will be, but if it was an online game only and it was done in a year, then I would just enjoy it for the year and then it would move on. Right, but the problem with that though is, Jones, so what was happening, I forget what it was. I don't know if it's the amiibos or something else. So people would buy the toy, and then when they sell the toy or they give it to someone else and someone uses the code, they can't use the code because it's already been used. The dude says, Travis, there's things called books that tell you things like soldiers from the 50s were led. Yeah, we know it was 6 years because Certain Infinity and Digital Extremes were working on it for 2.5, 3 years, and then Splash Damage has been working on it since then with Bulkhead. So 5 more years than Modern Warfare 3. Nice. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Nintendo stream at noon today. What's that? What's the Nintendo stream? Gonna show me JRPGs that I don't care about? If the Transformers game comes out and is as good as Warframe, then yeah, I would enjoy it for that year completely. I would not care if it shut down or not. That's what I'm saying, Eclipse. Like, I wouldn't... Like, I would just be happy to get the game. I'd be happy to get a game. I would play the crap out of that game. Indies? I can't watch it on stream. Nintendo will bop the whole stream. Yeah, that's what they'll do. Well, they probably will bring up... They just released the new go-kart, Mario Kart 8 track pack, or whatever it is. All right, so Transformers reactivate, right? If they're showing toys and Hasbro came out with it, right? There has to be an announcement like soon. Closed beta, early access, something, right? Had a guy yesterday say that 30 races, he was sitting on Miles Morales, and I was like, did you listen? He said sales, Miles is low. Someone called me a racist? Well, he's racist for calling me a racist. I mean, I don't tell you. His official episode titles and release order. What If Season 2 set a premiere between December 22nd and 30th, with one episode dropping each day. The new Godzilla film looks pretty good. I liked Warframe. I was mad though that I played Destiny before I played Warframe. If I played Warframe before I played Destiny, I think it would have been I think I would have liked Warframe better. Oh, I think so too, Stealth. I've been saying that for months. I think we see the next thing. It's been almost 1 year since the last time we saw something. My dog's going crazy. Give me 1 second. You get a lot of packages when the Amazon guys knows your name. My wife orders so many things. She orders so many things from Amazon that I'm like, what is it? She's like, I don't know. She forgets. She's like, I think I black out in the middle of the night and order stuff. Well, I just realized something. On the Transformers Reactivate, like, is Laserbeak the top of his truck? Or is he the front here? It reminds me of my drunk nights on Amazon. Oh, that's cool, Stealth. Last time a samurai sword showed up on my door. That's about right. I haven't got any cool items like that, Eddie. I haven't had any cool things like that, but sure, blame it on the wife. Oh no. It's definitely the wife. I'm more of a person that buys things in person. I hate buying stuff online. Like, I want to go to an actual store and buy stuff. You can join the Game Awards server to vote each category until December 6th. I don't care about voting for your rewards. All right, we got one more story. Go to the store. Blasphemy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Cities Skylines 2 dev delays mod support, slows down patch releases, and update console release date. So, the developer of Cities Skylines 2 has issued an update on the game confirming significant delay to the key features that slow down on patch releases. The city builder, which launched on Steam to a mixed user review last month, does not currently have an official mod support or expected in-game editor. Without the access of important features, mod maker are unable to import own assets into the game, and the original City Skylines enjoyed strong support from the modding community. In a blog post, Colossus Ordered a CEO, Maryland, said that the studio's goal is to release the editor as soon as possible, but expects it will take a couple of months to get into shape and where it can release it. He says, quote, "We don't have a concrete timeline yet, as we don't want to we don't want to make promises we can't keep." I think you've already broken that, haven't you? Hey, we're going to release a game on this date. Oh, it's broken, buggy, and unfinished. But we don't want to tell you when we're coming out with our stuff in the future because we don't have a concrete timeline of when the actual game's going to be released. Don't worry. You'll be in the category with Cyberpunk 2077 in a couple years at the Game Awards. Cities Skylines 2 was endured terminus release on the month preceding launch. Colossus Ordered and publisher Paradox announced the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 versions of the game were delayed until spring of 2024 in order to allow developers more time to match quality and performance across all platforms. Now, the minimum recommended PC specs were also raised significantly to account for the game's next-generation feature to allow a better player experience. In a subsequent joint statement, Colossal Order and Paradox admitted that they did not achieve the benchmarks targeted for the launch performance on PC, but stuck to the planned release date anyway. That's right, because it doesn't matter if a game comes out complete, if it's early access, beta, preview program, it doesn't matter. We're going to release a game, and we'll fix it over time so we can get nominated later for Best Ongoing Game. Despite the warning, Cities Skylines 2 surpassed 100,000 concurrent players on Steam on launch day as it soared to the top of the storefront's bestseller chart. However, a great many of players were left frustrated by the game's foreshadowing poor performance, along with a number of bugs, which Colossal Order has worked to fix in the weeks since. And just last week, they questioned reaction from some of the within Cities Skylines community after a developer patched out an in-game radio advert it had deemed offensive. In last week's update, it said the console version of the game is now slated for the first half of 2024 and will have the intended editor feature in place for launch. And the editor itself will also be on par with the PC version port, apart from the code modding asserted importing. Man, I can't read today. Importing due to the console reactions, and console players will also, however, be able to download user-created assets from Paradox mods and create custom maps. The performance improvements Colossal Order is making to PC versions will also benefit from the console version. He also actively working on console versions so they can also be ready for you in the first half of 2024. So now on to patches. Said the quick pace of patches will slow down after the next one is released soon. Colossal Order will then focus on bigger fixes and take longer to work on. And focus here is on LODs of Cities Skylines 2 10th fame, importing GPU performance, and there are also a ton of tweaks and adjusting requirements. So the workload is significant, and unfortunately, there's no silver bullet to improve the performance at once. Instead, it requires several tasks completed before, and we are happy with it. This is a result of less frequent updates, so we won't have a weekly patch going forward. Well, again, unfortunately, I'm a big fan of Cities Skylines, and yet this, I wasn't going to pick it up on day one anyway. It was supposed to be on Game Pass day one, but then they delayed it from consoles, and then they delayed it again. They delayed it twice, basically. It went from, like, early next year to now a little later by, like, summertime, spring, summertime, like May is when it's coming out. This is just yet another example why you shouldn't support a game when it comes out, because most games now, most games, not all games, but most games come out broke, buggy, unfinished, and they're in an alpha, beta, early access, preview state. Doesn't matter if it's gold. It all comes out, and they'll fix it along the way. You pay full price now, and we'll work on it time, and then 6 months pass, 24 months pass, and then your game is fixed. But by that time, you're kind of gone and done playing it, moved on to the next game. I hate when things happen like this. Just work on your game. Just work on your game. Stop trying to release things when you don't have time, and then we have a story comes out that says these developers were under crunch because they didn't get it done. Just finish your game. Just finish your game. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Dude, did you just do a UHF? Did you just do a UHF quote? Patches? We don't need no stinking patches. So whose fault is that for supporting a trash release? The people who spent the money, or the devs trying to cash in? Well, it's both. It's the developers trying to cash in, and then it's the people that fall for it, and they buy it, and it's broke, buggy, unfinished, and now you are the problem. And it might be different people that bought this game that bought Battlefield 2042 or bought Cyberpunk, right? They're all different people. Not maybe it's all the people. Maybe people don't care, right? But it's your fault. I know people don't like to hear that, but if you buy something broke and you don't care, then it's your fault, right? A lot of these games, though, you don't know are going to not work or be broke or buggy until a couple hours in. You can't get your money back. Exactly, Chief. So when you buy it, they keep doing it. Right. Why are they going to release a game at fully complete when they know you'll come back because they'll fix it over time? I take full responsibility for Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042, I'm really surprised people picked it up, Jones, like yourself. I know Zero did. I know a lot of, I think Akuta Papa did. Especially when they gave us the beta, and that beta was blaring of bad things with the frame rate issues and the flickering that was going on. And everyone's like, there's no way. There's no way the game's going to be like that when it came out. I went, nope. I'm not doing it. But I wasn't dumb enough to buy the $120 version. I knew it was broken, but I bought it. A lot of people bought the $120 version. A lot of people. When I played that beta and me and Sarge were playing, we had the 10-hour... We both had the 10-hour, because we have Game Pass, the 10-hour, trial. I think Sarge used an hour, and I used an hour and a half. And then we were done. I still have 8.5 hours, or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, 8.5 hours of the trial. I hate it, man. It'll never change, though. It'll never change because the people that bought the game, let's say it was Battlefield 2042, like I said earlier, is different people that bought Cyberpunk 2077. Or there's new people, right? Could be the same person, but it's new people buying 2077 that buy whatever game. Insert game here, new customer here, get hyped up by the trailers and stuff. The trailers do exactly what they're supposed to do. They give you a nice cinematic trailer. They give you a gameplay trailer. People get hyped up for it. They buy it day one. They're so excited. They play the game. Then they go into a denial period where all of a sudden reviews come out. People start talking bad about that game. And then people go, no, I had no problems with the game. I love the game, right? Because at that point, nobody wants to admit that they actually bought a bad game. Nobody likes to admit that they bought a bad game because it makes them look like they're a bad consumer. And both are true, right? Both are true. You can buy a bad game and be a bad consumer, okay? But at that point, you as the bad consumer and bad person just have to admit that you did it, which you have done, right? I've done it. I've played games in the past that were broken, buggy, and I was like, you know what? This has to stop, right? But people don't want to stop. They're like, there's no way that this game is going to come out broken, buggy. There's no way that this game is going to come out broken, buggy, right? Cyberpunk told me, we're not releasing a game like the other guys. We're going to release the game when it's ready. And then it comes out, and then it's not ready, right? And then this company, you're like, there's no way this 7th company in a row is going to release a game that's broken, buggy, and unfinished. Just wait until, man, right? It's always, well, they'll fix it, right? You're trying to, I shouldn't say you, we as consumers are trying to justify our purchase, right? Just trying to justify your purchase. You're like, well, I spent $100. I spent $120. Yeah, they'll fix it. They'll fix it. It takes a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And everyone's like, well, I'm having fun. That's fine. You can have fun. Just know that the reason it's in the state that it's in is because people that are buying games that are broke, buggy, and unfinished. Right? Do that in any other industry, right? If there's something wrong with your grocery cart or something in your cart is opened up, you bitch at it. Well, can I get a discount on this? Can I get a discount? This is already open. This is the thing, right? You buy furniture like, well, there's a little thread over here, right? The shirt's got a little mark on it. Can I get a discount? Right? Everyone does those things, but with video game, they're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Everyone thinks it's funny when you compare it to like cars and stuff, but it's like you wouldn't drive off the lot if you had no window. You wouldn't drive off the lot. You'd be like, it's not a big deal. When are you gonna get the window? 6 months? It's fine. I'll just put a garbage bag there and fix the Yeah, not a big deal. You want me to pay full price for no windows? All right, I'll do it. That's fine. And I know people think it's different because you're paying like $20,000, $50,000, $60,000 for a car, but there is no difference. It's the same. It's the same thing. You wouldn't accept it. Anybody buy anything used? Right? You go to like the those offshoot websites, you buy used. You show up to someone's house, and you're like, it's got a little ding here, a little bang up. Is it possible I can get a discount? They're like, I kind of want to stick with my price. They're like, yeah, like you're bargaining for something that's used and already banged up and abused, and you want the best deal. But something brand new, you're like, yeah, that's fine. Broke buggy, that's fine. I'll wait 18 months. We're supposed to get features and through sell you based model and then tell you to come back later. I just don't get it. And let's say RoboCop came out and it was broken buggy. The game crashed on me once and we were about 10 hours in, 11 hours in. Right? It crashed on me once. If it did that a couple times in the beginning, I would definitely get my money back. Right? If I bought Call of Duty and I was having that problem that Dr. Disrespected, I would return it. And I would never, ever purchase it again. And that's one of the reasons that, Brain bought me a gift for Cyberpunk 2077. And I didn't want it. I didn't want to buy the game. But he gave it to me. And my brain's like, no, I'm not playing your game, even though I didn't pay anything for it. Because I refuse to reward a company that literally lied. And people can have fun with that game and whatnot, but they literally lied. People gave Sean Murray shit for lying, okay? But they won't give shit to Cyberpunk for lying. Why? They literally lied to you. They said that we're not releasing a game until it's done. And then 3 years later, here we are. The game is finally done. The Video Game Awards is live in Fortnite. Amazing. What do you vote inside the game? For the first time ever, the Game Awards is live in Fortnite. Join us to vote and select the best user-created Fortnite Island of the year. Collect the trophies and get XP boosts. So Fortnite should win that category then for ongoing game, huh? Isn't that a, what's that called? They hate Xbox, and Sony was left out. SF, so I feel like they hyped CP, overlooked the bullshit. Perhaps. Yeah, it'd be a little weird if Fortnite didn't win ongoing game of the year, especially since the Game Award show is literally in the game during the live award show. That would be a little weird, huh? That's it, Stealth. Conflict of interest. $12. I want to see what did the Marvels bring in on Monday. Oh, they didn't even update it. Oh my god. That's a bomb. Madam Web trailers dropping tomorrow. Well, I hope all the fans of Madam Web go out and see the movie. When does it come out? Next year, May? You're going to see a bunch of things come out now because now that the strike's over, so now they can start advertising again. So tomorrow we'll talk about Suicide Squads a bit more because the gameplay trailer and was it gameplay and story are talking about tomorrow. The day before tweeted, what'd they say? We're delayed? Please don't tell me they delayed. That would be hilarious, though. That's not true. Is it, Stealth? Don't say that. Is that true? Hold on, there's another person at my door. Man, package delivery. The day before in-drive collaboration, the international ride-hailing service of California is the second largest ride-sharing and taxi app worldwide by downloads. Are you ready for December 7th? So basically, this is so they got this game has taken advertisements inside the game, right? So the in-drive car share has paid money to be inside this game. It's very, very interesting to see what happens here. I was gonna laugh my ass off, Stealth, if they actually canceled. I ain't touching the game. I told you. I ain't touching that game. I don't care how many good reviews and how many people go over and start playing it. Right? Unless they give me a code, I ain't touching the game. I have no interest in it whatsoever. You know what we never talked about? I don't have an article. But how WB is literally tripling down on live service games. I know they say doubling down, but they're tripling down. You say they cancel on December 6th? No. Early access, they're gonna get the money for early access. They want that money. Then a couple of months, they'll delay it. Or they'll cancel it. They want the people to pay that $30 or $40, what it is. Don't be fooled. They don't want the pre-order stuff, because that would be like big red flag. But they're gonna get that early access money. And there's no difference with early access money from a game like Day Before, or a game like Cyberpunk, or a game like Battlefield 2042, or a game like Cities Skylines. There's no difference. There's no difference what Day Before is doing and what all the other companies are doing. So the Avatar Season Pass trailer from today. Is it out already? I'll watch that. I mean, isn't DayZ still in EA? Yeah. So what's good about, now that we're looking at the Transformers reactivated toys, the leaked information that we had for the game from like earlier this year or late last year, earlier this year, all that leaked information, and now seeing the toys, those are all exactly the same. So they haven't changed from Certain Infinity to Splash Damage, Bumblebee looks the same. Optimus Prime, Soundwave, and Starscream all look exactly like they did in the leaked footage. Oh, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not owned by EA. Tarkov started off slow and then built up. Yeah, it looks like they're here. They're owned by a company. Bohemian Interactive had purchased a new development team, Claudron Studios, whose 25 developers would be added to the DayZ development team. In 2014, DayZ has confirmed the PlayStation 4 console released and determined 2015. Man, has it been that long? It's been around that long? Jesus. Yeah, they're not owned by EA. Bohemian Interactive is the developer and the publisher. They publish their own game. Oh, you're saying you don't see early access. I think they got out of early access years ago. Yeah, so it says, after years of seamless glazing development process, DayZ eventually entered beta in November with a full release in for the end of 2018. So it said launch day has now been set for DayZ on PC, Xbox One. Players aren't expected to see a version until 2019. So it hasn't been in early access in 4 years, 5 years. Fortnite was in early access for 4 years. Three years. Game was released in July 25th of 2017, and it released, Epic opted to move the game to pay to play in June of 2020. There's no difference in what those games are doing and what Battlefield did and what Diablo is doing and what Cyberpunk is doing and what the day before is doing. The day before said 6 months, 6 to 9 months they'll be released. Make that 12 to 18 months minimum. At least they call it early access. Yeah, but what's the difference? There's no difference anymore though, Jones. There's no difference between early access, preview, beta. Right? There's no difference. Look at what the multiverses did. The multiverses came out with a beta, or was it called early access, whatever it was. They charged people money, okay, for season passes, for founders packs and all this stuff, and then they took the game down for a year. What? What? Well, you know you can still play the game right now, Water, right? You can play the game right now, but you can't play against the NPCs. You can only play couch co-op with people. Or if you play the tutorial, you can play against the NPC. All of the cosmetics are unlocked for you right now that people paid for. All the characters are unlocked. Yeah, there's no online. It's just couch co-op. You can't even play like I was before. Like I would never play online. I would just play against the NPCs. You can't play against NPCs. The only play you can play against the NPC is against in the tutorial. After the tutorial's done, the only way you can play the game is if you play up against your son, daughter, friend, wife, whatever. Yeah, Water, what are you going to do? Let's say you don't get it. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. I just won't play it anymore. They got your money. They don't care. They don't care. Look at all these games that come out. They're like, oh, we're going to be free to play. It's going to be a free to play game. Wayfinder, free to play game. Right now, only way you can play it, $30. Is it $15? Is it 15 or 30? I forget what it is. Right? Overwatch, when it first came out, free to play game. What did they do? 30, $40. Then they charged $60. Right? Multiverses was supposed to be free to play. Founders pack. All these games that are supposed to be free to play, they find a way for you to pay for it. Early access, beta. I bought it for $15 Wayfinder pack, or Founders pack. After the debacle of early access, I only played for 2 hours. I play tested that game. I enjoyed it. And then they said they're doing early access, and they said they wanted $15. I said, I thought it was free to play. Well, it's not free to play yet. It's an early access. Shouldn't early access be free? Just like the game when it comes out to be free? Well, no, we need testers. We need testers, so you need to pay $15 to test the game for us. But it gets better over time. Don't worry. It'll get better, but you got to pay us $15. But I was in the beta test, and I paid you nothing, and I tested your game out. Now you want me to pay $15 to test your game out? I'm good. I'm good. All right. Well, D4's been out for what? Since June, right? June, July, August, September, October, November. We're 5 months in. December will be 6. And then by next summer, by the 1-year anniversary, D4 will be in a state that it should have been when it launched. When are leaderboards coming into D4? That everyone likes to defend. Well, this is not what the game is. It's for leaderboards. Leaderboards. It's all about the leaderboards. Leaderboards. Are they in the game yet? No? Okay, cool. Let me know when they're in the game. Eclipse, it's not about you being fined to pay $20. The fact that the game is supposed to be free to play and they say, well, it's free to play. It releases in February, but we're going to release it early access and you're going to pay extra money to play test it for us. That's the problem. I hope not. They put the First Ascendant pay for it, like others are supposed to be free to play games. Is First Ascendant? Can you have to pay to get the Founders Pack to play that game? I don't mind. I don't mind paid early access with consumers are informed. But why does a company, Jones? Why does a company say the game's gonna be free to play, but then charges? Let me put it in perspective this way: why can't I be part of the early access alpha beta test? And then yet when they say it's early access, right? Alpha beta you can play for free. Then when it's early access, they charge the $30 for a free to play game, and it stays like that for 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, and then they make it release. Why do I have to pay? Why do I have to pay the money to your free to play game that's not out yet? Why don't they just say what it is? If they want to be honest, if they want to be honest, then just say what it is. You want to invest in our company. We need an investment. We need a bump. We need an investment. We're making a free to play game, but we need investors. Just come out and say it's not free to play. It's $15. At least that's honest. Right? We're charging $15. They're going to charge regardless if it's free to play or if it's $15 or $30 or $50 or $70. They're still going to have a battle pass, season pass, microtransaction store, pay for DLC. They're still going to have all that stuff in it. Yeah, the gunplay felt good in the First Ascendant. Excuse me. Epic's Paragon was like that. And when the free-to-play failed, they refunded the early access crowd. At least that's honorable. At least it's honorable. Jeff Keighley looks horrible inside of Fortnite. He looks horrible. I would ask for your money back, Jeff. You look horrible there. When you read the Steam's early access policy, it's very clear it's for funding. How many people read that? I know that. You know that. How people don't even read past the first sentence in an article. That's why you said informed customers. Sure. But are they trying to make money off the informed customers? Nah. Hey, good news. Good news for Thor fans. Tiki how do you pronounce his name? Tiki Watiti says he won't be involved in Thor 5. So there's some good news for everyone. Taiki Watiti. It's Taika Waititi. That's what it was. Came back to my brain. It's pronounced crappy director. That's good. 76. Oh, man. There's another He-Man coming? Live-action Masters of the Universe movie is now being eyed to go into development at Amazon with significant theatrical release expected. Oh, the animation show Jones was so bad. The art style of it was so good. But Kevin Smith, man, he completely destroyed it. Completely destroyed it. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And then we watched it, and I was like, oh, not so much. Did that come out in 2021? You didn't like the beta He-Man? No. I love these companies that make a film and they're like, we're going to make a He-Man show, and then He-Man's not going to be in it. We're going to make a Wolverine movie, and Wolverine's not going to be in it. It's like, I mean, a bad example. We don't know about Wolverine yet. But you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like, let's watch Hawkeye and then not have Hawkeye in it. Let's have Loki, but not have Loki in it. Who would win a fight, Beta He-Man or Beta Hulk? Unfortunately, probably Beta He-Man. Kevin Smith, the director that brought you Tusk. They wanted to tell a new story, but afraid that no one would care. Yeah. Their first instinct, you know when your mom tells you, go with your gut feeling? Like your parents tell you, like, you got to go with your gut feeling is. And your gut feeling is like, well, I want to make a He-Man show, but not on He-Man. But I don't think it's going to sell. Go with that gut. Go with that instinct. That instinct was absolutely correct. It's not going to sell. People are going to hate it because nobody's watching He-Man to watch She-Ra. right? Now, nothing wrong with She-Ra, but she had a show. Yes, he did, 76. Big fan. Big fan of He-Man. Big fan of He-Man. Never watched the show. Big fan of it, though. When someone said, hey, you want to direct He-Man? I was like, sure, let me watch the shows. Loved it. Hated it, but loved it because I'm getting paid big bucks to make it. Don't worry, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to subvert your expectations. You're not going to know what hits you, right? I'm going to make a show that I don't know if I should make because I don't think anyone's going to watch it. So I'm going to trick you first and make you watch He-Man for He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and then do Teela. But we didn't kill him, but we killed him. It's going to come back around. Just, you got to watch. You got to watch to the end. You got to watch to the end. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good show. She was overpowered. She was a battle mage, superhuman that can manipulate time and space and have the powers. Doctor Strange, Mephisto, Wolverine, Hulk at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. Mastress of the universe. So Dave the Diver, which was nominated for Best Independent Game, was made with a non-independent budget. Nice. Another good reason to watch the Video Game Awards because they nominated a game that's not even an independent game in the independent category. Nice. I liked it for what it was, but where's He-Man? Yeah, the art style, I was like, man, this art style is so good. I was like, where's He-Man? You know what He-Man show is better? The other He-Man show where they're like little kids. Did you watch this one? I forget what that one was called. I think it was actually called Masters. No, it wasn't Masters of the Universe. What's the other one? He's like a little kid. And he gave his powers to the rest of his friends. What was that called? Shazam? That's basically what it was. Yeah, it was He-Man, the Master of the Universe, right? But I can't. Hold on a second. Yeah. Here it is. I'm not gonna play a clip because they'll bot me. This one on Netflix. This one was pretty good for what it was, right? And it was pretty. It's exactly what you think it was, right? It went around the girl power and stuff like that, but at least this was entertaining. Yeah, Dave the Diver is owned by Nexon. Mini Rocket is like a sister company that makes indie games. Yeah, but the budget's not an indie game. Indie budget. A cost of making an indie game can range somewhere between $10,000 to $1 million, roughly. Dave the Diver cost $2 to $3 million. I never watched Clerks 2. That's the one that came out like 2 years ago, right? No. Clerks. Yeah, Clerks. It was Clerks 3 that came out. I watched Clerks 2. Clerks 3 came out in 2022. I haven't seen that one. I gotta see what did. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Wait a minute, it didn't make money. We got Clerks, Clerks 2, Clerks 3. What did it make? Let's see. Man. Let me bring this up. Okay. So Clerks 1, right? 1994. Budget was $27,000. It made $3 million. Okay. Which is fantastic. Okay. 1994. Clerks 2 cost $5 million. That's a hell of a budget. Right? That's $26 million. Also made money. Clerks 3, they don't tell you what the budget was, but the worldwide box office, $4.7 million. And I'm assuming if Clerks 1 cost $27,000 and Clerks 2 cost $5 million, I'm assuming Clerks 3 cost around $5 million, if not a little bit more than $5 million. So it lost money. That's crazy to think that man's career got set off to the stratosphere because if he spent $27,000 on credit cards to make the film and made $3 million. Later, dude. I want to see Clerks 3 in theaters, but my area didn't have it. I don't think a lot of people had it. I don't think. Let's see if it tells us how many theaters it opened up in. Hold on, that's the wrong one. Clerks 3. Widest release. 5 theaters. 5 theaters. That's crazy. So sad. And on that note, we'll leave Kevin Smith alone. We'll be back to tonight. I think we're going to play some Jusant tonight. We're going to finish out that game. It's a relaxing climbing game that's over on Game Pass. We'll play that game tonight, finish that out. And then we finished RoboCop last night, so if you guys want to go watch the full, we have all the episodes up there. RoboCop was actually pretty good. Liked it. Not a great game, but a great game for what it is, right? RoboCop, fantastic, fun little game to play. If you like RoboCop 2 or RoboCop 1 and 2, this is like the third film. Better than the third film, in my opinion, right? So go check that out. Other than that, we'll be back tonight, like I said, for some more gameplay. And we'll be back tomorrow morning for some more gaming news. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. I'll see you guys later. Peace.